British artist Sue Blackwell brings images from fairy tales like Cinderella and Snow White to life. Her sculptures tell a whole new fairy tale, a story in rather than on paper.
Working with paper, this continues to fascinate me. Every paper has a different quality and reacts to the hand in a different way. I like the fragility of the paper, but also the strength.
Sue Blackwell carves sculptures out of old books. Before she begins, she reads the book, seeking inspiration for her work. A single piece can take anything from 2 to 3 months. Making precision cuts with a scalpel demands intense concentration. Most of her source material is children's books and fairy tales. There's one book she's particularly smitten with.
Alice in Wonderland was one of my favourite stories as a child, and I remember just reading it and getting lost in the story. And for me, it was an escape, somewhere more magical, and where I could just, lose myself.
The artist makes regular visits to London's second-hand bookshops. Sue Blackwell was born in the northern English city of Sheffield. She developed her passion for books while studying at the Royal College of Art in London. But it was only later, in 2003, that she discovered them as a medium for creativity. On a trip to Asia, she happened on an old book that inspired her first sculpture.
I'm drawn to older books because they have a history, and often inside they have an inscription from who it was from and to whom. And the wear and tear on the books tell a story itself, and a different story to the story within the book.
Even in the digital age, Sue Blackwell's sculptures are in keeping with the times. Recent years have seen the emergence of a new genre that's come to be known as book art. London art historian Christine Antaya has spent 4 years looking into this relatively new genre. Her book on the subject comprises a panorama of some 50 contemporary artists from different countries.
I think it is an emerging field in terms of young artists being interested in using books as materials and also sort of creating and making their own books. Books are very sort of powerful as symbols, and I think there is a newfound interest in book art, definitely.
Sue Blackwell's book art is increasingly in demand, showing up in ad campaigns, magazines, and shop windows. She's even designed a set for a stage play. Original works by her are currently on display at the Long and Ryle Gallery in London, and they're a hit.
We have children who love it, led in by their mothers who love it even more. We get professional women, perhaps drawn back to something from their childhood. We get, women from China buying them, women from New York. I'm saying mainly women, but in fact, we get men love them as well. They seem to have a real sort of universal appeal.
A book sculpture by Sue Blackwell can cost up to €9,000. Director Tim Burton and his partner Helena Bonham Carter are among her fans and collectors. But Blackwell hasn't let that go to her head.
I don't want it to be didactic, so I'm happy for people to take away and to interpret how they see fit, and everybody kind of relates to it in different ways.
Sue Blackwell, an artist whose fairy tale landscapes cast a magic spell all their own.